welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. The sun made an appearance briefly. We've got a jam-packed video for you today. I'm sowing garlic, I'm getting plants for free. We're going to have an update on the vegetable garden, plus the cottage garden, plus a real treat for you at the end, potato day. You've got to watch that. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So now I'm planting some garlic. I bought this garlic from the supermarket. I paid 39 pence for it. I've never planted supermarket garlic before, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'm quite short of garlic, and it's quite late in the season to be planting it, so I didn't want to spend loads of money on it. And all I'm doing is just popping it in the soil there. I'm not sort of worrying too much. I know this soil's pretty well enriched. It's got plenty of compost and things in there. Even the tiny bits there I'm putting in as well, because, you know, why not? So I think there's about, I don't know, 10-12 cloves here or something like that. And what I'll be doing is then I'm just going to top them up with a little bit of shop bought compost. Just one of the reasons is that I like to do a little bit of this, topping up with compost when I plant things, just to know that I'm always adding something, but just to sort of, so I can see where it is. So I've added some sticks in there just to mark the rows, and then all I'm going to do is just put a bit of wire or something over it just to stop the birds coming along and pulling them out, and that's pretty much it. So we shall see what happens. Yeah, hopefully we'll have more garlic. So this is my row of rhubarb. I've also got some under this pot that I've been forcing, and it's looking pretty good. There's not loads of it, but there'll be enough. It looks so succulent. I've spotted a snail in there. That's the only thing. I think it's just going to be a bit of a breeding ground for them, but we shall see. Now for a bit of a tour of the back garden. So in this bed here, I've got the Egyptian walk-in onions that I got from Saron over at Sow Grow and Cook. And under that grass there, I'd planted some potatoes that I got from the supermarket that were just sprouting. In this bed, I've got some elephant garlic, the last of the mustards, and some Welsh onions, again from Saron when I visited her in the summer. In this bed we've got the leeks just finishing up now. They've been brilliant. We have been enjoying them all winter long. I will leave a patch of those for some seed as well. In this back bed here I've got broad beans, and where you can see some gaps, there are some small plants in there where I've sort of added some more. At the top there, that's some onions that I grew from seed. Swinging round to here, I've got some shallots under here, the last of the kale, the garlic that you've just seen me plant, a handful of turnips. Here are some onion sets that I planted a couple of videos ago, and I think they're doing okay. They're sort of taking root now, so hopefully we'll have a decent onion crop this year. And I don't know if you remember the Swiss chard that I said, hadn't made it. I decided just to plant it out anyway. And it does look like it's just about hanging in there. Here's some more rhubarb. Rhubarb season is well and truly underway. Here's some more rhubarb that a lady in the village was advertising. She was digging up a clump and asked if anybody wanted it. So, of course, I headed straight over there and got a bit of it. This bed here, I've topped it up with some of my compost. It wasn't fully rotted, but I won't be planting this bed up for a couple of months, so I think it should be fine. I just needed to get something on that soil. And this one was my most recent bed I made. We've added grass clippings and leaf mould on this one, and a tiny bit of compost. I intend to grow potatoes in here and cover it with lots of grass clippings and things. So hopefully it should be okay. This plant here, what is this plant? It's a tayberry. It's been sitting in a pot for ages, and finally I've got round to putting it in the ground. So we've been busy mulching all our paths with some wood chip recently, and oh gosh, I wish we'd done this months ago because we've been slopping up here in the winter time through the mud, and it's made such a difference. So this bed I did the other day. This was an area that the chickens were once in, and it was very compacted and waterlogged, so we decided to sort of sort it out. I've got some pea sticks in there for growing my peas. I had to dig this with using a pickaxe. That's how tough the soil was up here. I've prepared my runner bean trench here. I did the traditional by putting some compost in the bottom of the trench. Not compost, some vegetable scraps and things, and then on top of it I've added some of my not quite rotted compost, and by the time it gets around to planting, that should be absolutely fine. Swinging round to here, we've been mulching our trees with some of that wood chip that we've had, and I've been using bits of slate to write the labels for the trees because I'm going to forget one of these days. This tree I got from a discount garden centre. I think it was 2 for £18. I don't think it's alive. I wonder if the roots dried out or something. I'm a bit disappointed, but we shall see. Here's a quick shot of the vegetable garden from this angle. So recently I went to a potato day to get all my seed potatoes. I absolutely loved it. I also managed to get some seeds from the seed swap, and it was fantastic. So here's a small little snippet of what it was like at my potato day.
Normal countdown to remember that this is the 28th year that we've been going. Not me personally, but it's the 28th year. So from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, open! Please take your time. It's a pound entry. Please have the exact money if you can.
So next to transplanting some snowdrops, this little circle here, these are some ash trees that have got some snowdrops planted around the edge. They never look that great. They don't seem to come up very well. We've got an area in the front garden that's got a big patch of snowdrops, and I want to extend that and have it look really amazing. I'd rather have one really large section where you just get the wow factor rather than just having little spots of it here and there. So the time to transplant snowdrops is when they're in the green, so I believe, which is just after they've finished flowering. So I'm digging these out of the grass. I'm trying to make sure I get the whole bulb. I think I'll probably still have left some in, but that will be some to transplant next year. And all I'm doing is digging up a clump and taking them into our front garden and replanting them there. It's so satisfying, and also I'm reusing something, but I'm also creating something with stuff that was already here. So yeah, if you've got any in your garden that you want to do the same, do that. Please don't ever dig them up from the wild. You mustn't do that. In the UK, at least, I know it's illegal to do that. Only do it from your own garden or from a friend's garden that's given you permission, but never do it from the wild. So this has been a relatively easy job, I have to say. It's quite, and like I say, it's very satisfying. Now to have a look at the cottage garden area that we are trying to create. If you remember, I dug out this bed recently, probably a couple of months ago. Part of it was that tank on the right hand side we were trying to sort of disguise as it stuck out of the middle of the lawn. So we have been sort of gradually dealing with this border, adding bits and pieces in. I've topped it up with some compost and it's slowly taking shape. This is a view of it from the sort of other side, and it's starting to look pretty good. I did transplant this rosemary. I think it's looking a bit sick. I think it's dried out a little bit too much, unfortunately. We'll just have to see what happens there. So finally, just a shot of the trough that I recently made from the old shed that we had to take down. This was just old bits of the shed and I just painted it, and it just looks amazing. All the violas are taking off and it just looks beautiful, as do these rather lovely violets.